So I'm going to try to do a little quick tutorial on how you move your Plex server from truenas core to the new truenas scale fangtooth. As you can see, I'm signed in here. So what you need to do is you got to move your Plex config folder. So if we go into my truenas core and log in, you will see that it's core. So if we click on storage and go to pools, you will see my data set. IO cage means it's in a jail. So what you need to do is you need to find the Plex config that's inside that jail, which for me it's going to be inside jails Plex media server. It's inside this folder. You got to copy that folder. How do you do that? So first we go back, but you make a new folder called Plex config. That's where you're going to move it to. So you need to make that data set first. So what you do is you're probably going to have to do a little studying. Go down here to shell, and then you type MC space -U. That's Midnight Commander. Open it up. Okay, so what you see is here you take your base. So you can use this, and you're going to go to the local. Alright, so let's just hit enter. Okay, so there you're going to go to your media folder. So if we click that, no, that's not going to do that, so we do this. Media. Oops, let's go back. I don't think I did that right. Need to go to mount. There we go. Mount, media. Okay, you see I created the Plex config folder. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the IO cage folder, hit enter, go down here to jails, hit enter. You see your Plex media server? You're going to want to copy that, which is 5. So you copy that, and then it's going to ask you the directory. So this is your current directory. So if you go here, if you go back out of here, if you go up, hit enter, go up and hit enter again. Okay, so if you add your Plex config and you hit enter, you're going to want to type that out. /mount /media. That's what your pool is. /Plex config. Okay, so you remember that. So then when you go out of here and you do that, media, hit enter, then you go Plex config or IO cage, go to jails, Plex media server, and then you want to copy that folder. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit 5, hit enter, and if you did it right, it'll come up a little screen, which this probably will work on putty. So mine just for whatever reason it doesn't always work right. So if we go back to dashboard and then we go back to jail, MC space -U, enter. Let's try this again. See if we can get it to come up. Media, IO cage, jails, Plex media server, and then we want to hit, what is that, F5. So if we hit shift, that didn't do it, so control F5. No. Alright, so we need to figure out the menu. Oh, it froze. So if we go shift F10, yeah, so probably gonna have to use putty, but anyhow, you copy this folder over so that it's in Plex media server in your storage. So if you go to pool and it's in there, then what you do is you open the SMB and then you copy that contents of that folder, which will be Plex Media Server. So if we go back to shell mc-u, go back here, let's try this again, root, enter media, enter IO cage, jails, Plex Media Server, enter, root. Okay, Plex Media Server. This is the folder that you want. That's what it's going to look like. So then if you hit copy, I got to look up and see what the 5 is. So let's do it again. Didn't do anything. Yeah. So I don't know how to get down there. Whoops. But you gotta do the 5, and I don't remember. You do it on another laptop, but you copy that folder and then you type in the amount from before. So then you copy that to the computer, which if you go into the file manager and we go back, okay, Plex config, where was it? Plex config. Okay, so you copy that. So that's what you're going to see inside that Plex Media Server folder. Okay. So you want those couple files there. So then you go over here to the Plex Media Server. This is, let's close this out. Let's get out of here. This is the dashboard. Here's my new truenas media server. So we'll put this information in here. And as you can see, the dashboard is totally different. This is RC fangtooth 25.04. So it's a lot different. So that if we go to apps, this is Plex Media Server. This is inside a container. Very easy to set up. So if you go to Discover Apps, that's what it looks like. So you just install the app. And it says stable. Of course, I've already got it installed. So if we go back to apps, it's running. So this is how you set it up. So basically, I don't know if I can edit it while it's running, but I'm gonna try. It may not work. So you set it up like this. Pretty simple. So truenas, it's the app. The only thing that I changed is if you see the storage configuration, I pointed it to the media folder on the new system. So that is that. So you can see mount media. That's the folder with all my media. And then I pointed the configuration to the newly folder that I created with that Plex Media Server in it. Okay? So basically that's just going to start a Plex. So what you do is you get this app running. And let's get out of here. Let's get out of apps. You get it running. You go to the web UI. Do what you need to do. Don't log in. It'll create all those folders in the Plex config. So then you stop the service. And then you go to sharing, which shares. And on that Plex config folder that you created in the dataset, let's go to datasets. See right here's the Plex config. So you're going to want to turn SMB on for that, but not while it's running. So you're going to want to make sure the app is off and stopped. Then go to shares. And then you're going to make this SMB share and turn it on. So then when you go to your browser folder, there it is. It's going to show you all those in there. You just make sure the right permissions are correct. And then you open up your other Plex config and you find these folders that match. All the ones that match. You need the XML, setup, local admin, cache, media, and I did a bunch of them. There's only a couple that's different, so I put them in here. So then what you do is you go back and you start up the Plex server. See, it's running. So then you do the web UI, because you can see I have two Plex running. I have my core one that is current, and then I have the new one that I'm not logged into yet. So what you do is you go and you hit the web UI and you log into the Plex. Boom, all your libraries are there, and so is all your metadata, and you can see that I'm not logged in. So once I log in, it'll link all that stuff. But your libraries won't work. So if you go to libraries, some of it won't work. So what you do is you just edit the library. So if you go to manage library, you move it to the new path. So when you add folders, there's your old one from the core library. This is your new one from the other library. And then once you move all your media over, it'll just work. So that was the test. So absolutely did exactly what I want. So now I can put drives into the new fangtooth server. Then I'll have my old Plex server that I'll just turn off and leave as a spare if it ever goes down. But then I'll have my new one running the newest, latest truenas software. Like I said, as you can see, it's a totally different UI, and it just works, and it's much, much faster. So there you go. There you have it.